Hi girls and boys, welcome to the world of math. Today we're going to be talking about multiplying by unit fractions. And as you remember, unit fractions are any fraction that has 1 as a numerator. So like 1/3, 1/2, 1/4, 1/8, okay? So that's a unit fraction. So this is going to be a quick, easy video, and then there's going to be a worksheet attached that you can fill in. I'm also going to give you another worksheet attached to this, which is going to be division. And I might throw in some multiplication too, just for review, because some of you in the day before's multiplication were making some little tiny mistakes. So we'll keep practicing that. So these two are due on Friday. I mean, if you want to get them done Thursday, that's fine, but they have to be done by Friday, okay? Because next week we're going to move on to something else. Okay, so back to multiplying by a unit fraction. You can see. So here we have our whole number 3, and we're going to multiply it by 1/4. So all you have to do is multiply by the numerator, and again, the denominator stays the same. So 3 times 1, of course, is 3, and the denominator stays the same. Okay, so that's easy, 3/4. Okay, the next one, 5 times 1/2. Okay, so again, 5 times 1 is 5. The denominator stays the same. That's right, but it is an improper fraction, so we need to fix it. We're going to turn it into a mixed number. So we're going to say, how many times does 2 go into 5? Well, we know it goes in 2 whole times, so there's our whole number, and then there's 1 left over. There's our numerator, and the denominator stays the same. Okay? So 2 and 1/5. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 and 1/2. Oops, thinking ahead. 2 and 1/2. So if you want to check it, you can just say 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, 5/2. Okay, let's try this one. 7 times 1/3 is 7/3. Okay, again, an improper fraction, so we're going to turn it into a mixed number. I'm just going to fix my computer here. All right, so we're going to turn that into a mixed number because we don't want an improper fraction. So we're going to say 3 goes into 7 2 whole times, and then 1 left over. Denominator stays the same, so that would be 2 and 1/3. If we want to check it, we can say 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, 7/3. Okay, so that should be fairly, easy to understand, and there'll be some of these on the worksheet. So now we're going to move into this one, and this is multiplying by numbers that are not unit fractions. I'm going to put that up there just to give it some anchor. Okay, so we have the first one, 4 times 2/3. Well, 2/3 is not a unit fraction because it doesn't have 1 as its numerator. So, but we do it the same way. So we're going to say 4 times 2 is 8. And then the denominator stays the same, so we have 8/3, but of course we know 8/3 is an improper fraction. So we're going to turn it into a mixed number. So we're going to say 3 goes into 8. How many whole times? 2 whole times. 2 whole, and then, because that would be 6, 3 goes into 8 twice, which is 3, 6, and then there'd be 2 left over, and the denominator stays the same. Okay, so 2 and 2/3. Let's try that. I know they're kind of squished in. So let's say this, let's look at this one. 4 times 5/8. Well, the numerator, 4 times 5 is 20. Denominator stays the same. Again, we have an improper fraction. So we're going to say, how many times does 8 go into 20? How many whole times? It goes in twice, because that would get us to 16. And then there's 4 left over. Denominator stays the same. So 2 and 4/8. So if you really wanted to be good in fractions, you would change that into 2 and 1/2, because 4/8 in its lowest term is 1/2. So 2 and 1/2. Okay, so let's go on to this one. 11 times 2, of course, is 22. Denominator stays the same. So we need to turn that into a mixed number. So how many times does 3 go into 22? We know it goes in 7 times because 3 times 7 is 21. So 7, and then to get to 22, we would need one more. Denominator stays the same. If we want to check it to make sure we did it right, we could say 7 times 3 is 21, plus the numerator is 22, 22 thirds. Okay? So you might want to check these just to make sure that they're checking out. Okay, so now this one, 5 times 7 is 35. Denominator stays an 8. Okay, again, an improper fraction, so we have to say how many times does 8 go into 35 whole times? Okay, we can't go over. So 8, well, we know 8 times 4 is 32, so that's as close as we can get to 35. So 32, and then it would take 3 more to get to 35, and the denominator stays the same, 4 3/8. Okay, so that's today's lesson, multiplying by unit fractions and multiplying whole numbers by fractions that aren't always unit fractions. So we're going to get that under our belt today. I'm going to add a multiplication / division assignment for you to do as well, and that should do it. You can either finish it today or pass it in by tomorrow, but I need to have it by tomorrow. Okay? All right, and don't forget, tomorrow morning is the Zoom chat. Make sure you bring your haiku. Remember, it's 5-7-5. So 5 syllables in the first line, 7 syllables in the second line, and 5 syllables in the third line. And it could be describing anything, a cat, a dog, a tree, spring, a sport, whatever you like. All right, but remember, you have to count your syllables for each word. Okay? I look forward to hearing your haikus. All right, see you soon. Good luck with your multiplying fractions.